And tonight on the Daily Wrap, safe haven cities like San Francisco under attack for protecting illegal immigrant criminals. More companies dropped Donald Trump following his controversial comments about Mexicans, but his star continues to rise in his quest to be president. Republicans rebelling against the Supreme Court's ruling to legalize same-sex marriage. And Bill Cosby has information released that he fought hard to hide. This is the Daily Wrap, live from New York City. And welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Joe Concha, joined by my co-host, Rick Unger.
What's going on, brother?
How are you, sir?
I'm good today. And you?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. Living the dream. The political dream.
And speaking of the dream, a dream finally comes true to have
Yes.
somebody on that has my name, at least first name anyway.
Yes, that's all of our dream. We've lived for this moment.
Making his first appearance in the Daily Wrap, stand-up comedian and writer Joe DeVito. Welcome,
Thanks for
sir.
having me.
And finally, Newsmax TV contributor and writer for National Review Online, John Funn, joins us as well. Welcome, John. Well, everybody, let's get right to the Daily Download. And President Obama's immigration policy is under fire tonight. Francisco Sanchez, an illegal immigrant who had already been deported 5 times, is accused of shooting a young San Francisco woman as she walked along a water park there last week.
You have to realize that every day is precious, and no matter where you're at, what you're doing, just cherish the people in your life and who you love, and tell them you love them. Because I'll never get to tell my sister that I love her again.
Now, in the wake of the killing, the city of San Francisco is under sharp criticism over its status as a so-called sanctuary city, a local law that prohibits city employees from helping federal authorities with immigration investigations or arrest unless required by law or warrant. But San Fran sheriff is defending the law and says federal authorities are to blame for not going after the suspect.
You would have thought that he had met the threshold where they would have obtained a court order or a warrant to facilitate their interest in deporting him or incarcerating him, whatever their interest was, the next time. And they did not do that.
Okay, Rick, fair to say that the president's immigration policies and sanctuary laws are to blame for this happening?
Well, this predates the president by quite a few years. Where I think the sheriff of San Francisco is being a tiny bit disingenuous is that the ICE did give them a request saying that if you do release this prisoner, please notify us first. They didn't do that. And San Francisco's taking the point of view, since they had no cause to hold him, they had no obligation to follow through on that request. You know what? The problem with sanctuary cities is they can actually do what they're doing legally. San Francisco's law is considered legal, but there's a level of cooperation that everybody would benefit from pursuing. And in this case, I think San Francisco is going to take the blame, and I think they should, because it wouldn't have killed them to make that phone call before they released
Do you think
them.
if somebody gets deported and they come back and they're caught, that should be it, and they should just be arrested and go to jail?
But,
I mean, this is 5 times.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters because, as you say, this guy was deported 5 times and he made his way back. You got to catch him. But yeah, I would agree with you that if you catch him, it should be instant. Do not
One and done.
collect 200. Do not pass go. You're going back, brother. Unless you did something wrong that we want to prosecute you for.
Joe, your opening analysis.
Yeah, well, I think, I don't know what they're waiting for, a 6 strikes and you're out policy here. I mean, clearly this was a very bad guy. And he didn't end up in San Francisco by accident. He went there because he knew he could continue a life of criminality. So he's not someone who's coming to America to better himself or to work hard. He's coming there because he knows he can get away with living a life where he exploits and harms other people. This idea of sanctuary cities, like he's the hunchback of Notre Dame going for sanctuary. It shows you, like, I'm surprised this hasn't happened more frequently.
Yeah, John?
But it's important to note that it hasn't happened more frequently.
Well, we don't know that. There are a lot of these cases that frankly are never covered in the media. This, I think, the juxtaposition of this with Trump was just too obvious to not to ignore. I think San Francisco is going to become one of our first cities, along with Los Angeles, which I call America's new Rio. It has the highest number of rich people you can possibly imagine, Silicon Valley billionaires, and it has a homeless population and an indigent population which is truly tragic. And unfortunately, this fellow blended right into that. San Francisco has managed to socially stratify people. So it basically, I think, patronizes and infantilizes people at the bottom, and will do almost anything to attract rich people in their high rises. And I love San Francisco. I grew up there. And what's happened to the city, where these two things can coexist, is a warning to the rest of America.
I do want to say something about that, because, as you know, I lived in Santa Monica for 30-some years, and we did have the huge homeless population you're talking about. There's a reason for that. Homeless people are not stupid. If you're going to be homeless, do you want to be homeless on the beach in Southern California or San Francisco, or do you want to be homeless in the dead of winter in Minneapolis? The thing is now, once they're there, you have to make a decision. Are you going to learn to live together, or are you going to be in a constant battle over it? I think most of these cities have found it works better if you learn to live together.
I used to work in welfare programs as a young man. I was a welfare bureaucrat, actually. So I worked with a lot of these people. 2/3 of them have serious mental health, drug, or alcohol problems.
That's true.
And they need treatment, or in some cases, confinement. By just letting them roam free, and especially some of them turn to criminal behavior, doesn't help them, doesn't help the community, and it certainly doesn't help these poor victims.
Does this exonerate Donald Trump in any capacity because of the timing of his comments and then this happening right afterwards? I know it's a far bridge to jump, but
like a lot of demagogues, Donald Trump put his finger on a real issue and then proceeded to mangle it mercilessly. The latest one is, when in his retreat from his previous remarks, he said, well, the Mexican government is forcing these criminals on us. Well, believe me, I'm a reporter. I want to know this. I want the documents, and I want the evidence that the Mexican government is actually sending us murderers and molesters, all of that. So the answer is, Donald Trump had stumbled into an issue that's a real problem. Not sending these criminals back, not confining them. But he is actually hurting his cause because of the populist demagogic way he's going about it.
Well, let me play contrarian. Could he have meant that the Mexican government is not doing enough to secure their own border from people coming over?
Said it, John's right, because he said it a few times now. He had a chance to back off of the wording.
He doesn't back off, though.
No, he's gone even further. He actually is claiming, that without any question, that the Mexican government is picking and choosing who they're sending across the border. As you know, I also lived in Mexico. I lived in a lot of places. And nobody I knew in Mexico was ever picked by the government to go across the border. But I'll tell you what, we need to stop the Donald Trump conversation, even though I know that we won't, because as of this morning, it's all over. We found out that he has got illegal Mexicans working at the hotel he is building in Washington, D.C. Donald, you get busted on the hypocrite thing, and by the way, this is probably the most unsurprising story of the year. You don't get to keep talking about this. If you can't do it in your own building, how are you going to do it for the whole country?
Are you surprised that Josh Earnest said Republicans are to blame, that he said the GOP blocked efforts to secure the border? I mean, can we just not play politics for 2 minutes in this country?
Well, what Trump was saying there, it's not like when Castro emptied the prisons and sent over all his criminals during the Mariel boat lift. It's completely different from that. Although, I think not enough times do we say, what's going on in Mexico that you have all these vast majority of really hardworking people fleeing their country?
Drug cartels are taking over.
Yeah, I mean, the country's, it's a failed state.
There's no work. They can make more money here and send a big chunk of it back home. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the way they protect their southern border, they're not messing around.
You bet.
So I don't understand why Mexico being a failed state becomes our problem.
So I want to get your take, since we have you here for the first time, on the rise of Trump. And does it sustain?
No.
How does it go away?
He's a guy who burns out. At this point, I think all he could do is, after he makes one of his points, if he just let out a loud belch, I think that would be, if there's a way to get more Donald Trumpiness.
You know, the danger is he's going to be your competitor on the stand-up comedy stage. He could do a good career on that.
He's brutal. I mean, I think it's good that he's bringing up some things for us to talk about, but there's no way he's going to burn it out. He's just too obnoxious.
I like the loud belch. I'm going to have to use that.
I think that's what,
great.
And also his shirts made in China are very unattractive.
The
Trump brand.
Well, you can't buy them in Macy's anymore.
Okay. I just can't wait for the concession speech and what that sounds like. That'll be remarkable. Anyway, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the president's immigration policies? Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. Let your voice be heard. Be back with more in a moment.
Hi, I'm Ron Paul. I spent 22 years in Congress, and today I'm back in Washington to issue an important warning. I believe a major financial crisis greater than the one from 2008 is fast approaching because our government has made a series of disastrous monetary decisions over the past few years. If I'm right, the way you live, work, travel, retire, and invest will change. Stocks and bonds will crash. The savings of millions could be wiped out. You can't rely on Washington to help you. Get the facts and take the necessary steps to protect yourself and your family. The best place to start is the free website below. You'll find a short presentation I've put together with one of the leading financial research firms in America. It details both the problem and the important steps to take. I strongly encourage you to check out the website below. I guarantee it will be worth your time.
You've been thinking about laser eye surgery for a while, but some things are holding you back. But enough is enough. And it's time to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation with your local TLC Laser Eye Center to see if LASIK is right for you. We're North America's leading and most trusted laser eye surgery provider with the experience and results to back it up. Our TLC lifetime commitment gives you peace of mind and ensures the highest quality service before, during, and after your procedure. And LASIK is more affordable than ever with multiple financing options and a $400 discount on your procedure just for scheduling a consultation. Your eyes deserve the TLC difference, and now is the perfect time to schedule your free LASIK consultation and change your vision and your life.
Call TLC at 1-800-569-1443 or visit us at 39.tlcoffer.com.
Do you own mutual funds? You may be paying fees and costs of up to 5% and not even know it. Fisher Investments isn't a mutual fund, and we don't have hidden fees. Do you own an annuity? Your broker may have made a commission of 8% or more when he sold it to you. Are you sure he had your best interests in mind? At Fisher Investments, we're not brokers, and we don't earn commissions on trades or by selling you products. With our model, as your portfolio grows, we grow.
To learn more about the Fisher Investments difference, call the number on your screen now. We'll send you our free DVD, Investing Secrets for 2015, and our special report, The 8 Biggest Mistakes Investors Make. Plus, call us today and get a free 1-year subscription to Fisher Investments Stock Market Outlook with insights from our company founder and respected market forecaster, Ken Fisher. Be prepared in 2015. Call now 1-800-780-3800. 1-800-780-3800.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Welcome back to Daily Wrap. I'm Joe Concha, joined by my co-host Rick Unger, and filling out the panel tonight, Joe DeVito and John Fund. Although he is crushing it in the polls relatively, that little comment is costing the Donald big dollars. The PGA, now the latest group to dump Trump, announcing they will not host its Grand Slam of Golf at Trump National Golf Club in Los Angeles this fall. ESPN also canceled a celebrity tournament. They join Univision, NBC, Macy's, CERTA, and NASCAR in severing ties with Mr. Trump. But Donald is showing no signs of backing away from his remarks. In fact, yesterday he said illegal Mexican immigrants are also bringing infectious diseases to the United States. Okay, so
plague,
in terms of diseases, right, which diseases do you think are
I'm
coming
fairly
up
certain it's the plague. I don't know.
SARS?
SARS, no doubt.
Avian?
Yeah, I'm sure there are. Avian.
Maybe it's
Clearly
the disease that Mr. Trump has some familiarity with, diarrhea of the mouth.
Oh my, well done, Fun. Good Lord. But, you know, still at the same time, he is second nationally. So, Joe, let me get your philosophy on that.
No.
Why does he resonate? I have a philosophy on this. He's a winner in terms of business and always had a couple bankruptcies, but over a 30, 40-year period, that's pretty good.
Yes.
And he creates jobs.
It's not.
It's not.
4 bankruptcies over 30 years is good.
He also has a net
One
worth
every 7.5
conservatively
years.
of $4 billion. I look at the end result, Rick, and that's not a bad resume.
Excuse me. Wait until the financial disclosure statement.
Yeah.
We'll wait for that if he ever files
The
it.
casino's closed in Atlantic City. I know that.
Everything's closing in Atlantic City. Have you been there lately?
I was there last week.
Look. I understand the audience for this show and many other conservative shows loves Donald Trump, and I can see why.
To the point where they vote for him?
In an age, well, some would, and in an age of political correctness, he cuts through a lot of the clutter. And there are a lot of politicians who are scared of their own shadow, and they won't discuss a legitimate issue, like, for example, sanctuary cities and illegal aliens committing crimes. But I have 3 things that I always tell conservatives they should answer before they vote for Donald Trump. And they are, Donald Trump was a Democrat until late 2009, well into Obama's first year as president. He has never satisfactorily explained why he was a Democrat, or why he's a close friend of the Clintons and Hillary went to his wedding, etc.
Which one? It's a fair question.
Who's counting?
That is a fair question.
The second part is Donald Trump is the biggest exploiter of eminent domain law in America.
That's right.
He has literally tried to throw grandmothers out of their homes in order to build parking lots in Atlantic City for his casinos. He says, well, we need eminent domain to build roads. Okay, I get that. But he wants to use eminent domain for private purposes, his parking lots. That's unfair when you're dealing with little grandmothers.
Purposes.
And the third thing that Donald Trump has never satisfactorily answered is this. Donald Trump has supported single-payer health care systems. He has supported massive tax increases. He has supported just about every liberal big government program. He's also supported other things, and he's never satisfactorily explained that. The answer is, I don't think Donald Trump is conservative or liberal. I think he's just Trump, which means he'll say anything at any given moment and I think if people want a level of consistency, they have to ask those questions.
There is a conspiracy theory being bandied about by one AM radio host.
Yes.
All right. He has the same name as a rock
You're not
band.
going to say who he is, but it's Rush Limbaugh?
I believe it's Rush Limbaugh.
Something like that, yeah.
And he believes that Donald Trump, and he's serious about this, is an agent for the left out to destroy the Republican Party from within with this candidacy because of his past donations to Democrats and his aforementioned friendship with Hillary Clinton. Do you buy into that?
Well, you never know that if Rush Limbaugh's serious about something or not.
True.
So you have to acknowledge that. He may be serious about it. No, I don't really buy into it. I just don't buy into it. You know, I thought John.
But as a liberal, he would of course deny it.
Yeah.
Right. Well.
John's explanation was awesome. He really laid it out. I want to add one more thing, though. If Donald Trump got up there and made immigration the centerpiece of his campaign, I could certainly appreciate that, and that's what I think people respond to. If he was talking about sanctuary cities and whether or not that's a good or bad idea, I can understand it. But you go through his speeches, and for everything he says that people may go, hey, you know what? He's telling the truth. He adds 2 or 3 outrageous lies to make it sound better. And that does not get you elected to
He's a salesman first.
Doesn't get you elected to anything.
Well, if he's a double agent, it's not for any political party on this planet. It's for some sort of extraterrestrial plan that is beyond our comprehension.
Well, we never know what's underneath that hair.
Watch it.
Oh, nothing good.
Going somewhere else.
The hair gets one mention every show. Anyway, some Republican donors aren't happy with the outspoken billionaire. One says he may even call on Republicans to skip the next debate, that's next month, August 6th, if Trump is on stage. Is that what Republican candidates should do if they want to rein in Trump? I think it would be political suicide, John Fund.
It's interesting how the media handles exotic candidates. Dennis Kucinich is a fun guy, and he ran for president, and he was crazy on stage. He said all kinds of bizarre things. And the media said, okay, you know, he represents a point of view. The Democratic Party wasn't identified with Dennis Kucinich. Donald Trump is identified with the Republican Party by the media. I don't think that's fair either.
Right.
You can have an exotic candidate. I think Bernie Sanders is crazy and has bizarre ideas. He honeymooned in the Soviet Union. Now, that's not just being a socialist.
Moscow can be quite, Red Square can be quite captivating.
He honeymooned out of the countryside.
So what?
Oh, well, that's
the
different
borscht is excellent, though.
Yeah, he had a buddy with a DACA.
So the point is, there are always going to be exotic candidates. I don't think the Republican Party should be the only one to bear the cross of its exotic candidates.
So you don't think this will hurt the Republican Party ultimately? In other words, people don't say he's just a typical Republican.
I don't think Trump. Well, first of all, they should be reminded he was a Democrat until 2009, and secondly, I don't think he's going to be in the race that much longer.
And
that's a big thing.
The notion of canceling the debate is crazy.
I'm so sorry. Well, Donald Trump is rising in the polls. Would you vote for him? Go to NewsMaxPolls.com to cast your vote. Back with more in just a moment.
Did you know stroke is a leading cause of death and disability? Sadly, most people who suffer a stroke have no prior warning signs. As you age, plaque can build up in your arteries. Even without symptoms, you may still be at risk. Fortunately, 80% of strokes can be prevented if the risks are detected early. A Lifeline screening can help determine your risks. It's easy and painless. Call 800-909-8081 to speak with a Lifeline advisor. Our sophisticated ultrasound technology looks inside your arteries for plaque, and you'll get a detailed report to share with your doctor. That's why many doctors recommend Lifeline screening. Our screenings for stroke and other health issues will be tailored to your personal risk factors. They normally cost up to $70 each, but through this offer, you can save over 50% with 5 screenings for $149. We're in your community now. Call 800-909-8081 today.
Did you know criminals use scanners like this to steal credit card information right out of thin air? But now these wireless pickpockets can be stopped with CardLock. Simply slide your credit or debit card into CardLock. Now it's virtually impossible for anyone to steal your information. Look, thieves can scan your bank information from your purse or pocket when you walk by. Then they can steal your identity, but slip your credit cards into CardLock, and it protects you from credit card fraud and identity theft. Frequency blocking polymers are woven right into the threads of the CardLock. Don't be a willing victim when it's so easy to stop with CardLock. Call and get 2 CardLocks for just $10. But wait, order now and we'll send you 2 more absolutely free. And there's more. All of today's orders get shipped to you for free. Get CardLock for just $10. Call now.
Call 1-800-513-4881 to get your CardLock security sleeves, or go to getcardlock.com. Call now.
Oh no! Your chair scuff, scratch, and scar your floors, causing expensive damage. Ordinary felt pads wear out and fall off, and in no time you've got scratches all over your floor. Not anymore! Introducing Furniture Feet, the amazing furniture boots that slip on the legs of virtually any stool, table leg, or chair, so it can slide across the floor, ending the scratch floor nightmare. Just push, slide, and glide. It's that easy. The Furniture Feet scratch-free Easy Glide secret is in the super strong woven fibers that are bonded together to create a durable, permanent carpet pad that will keep your floors scratch-proof. And Furniture Feet last 5 times longer than ordinary felt pads. No sticky tape, nails, or glues to use. Furniture Feet are made from durable polyvinyl that stretches like elastic to slip easily onto any chair leg and won't fall off. Round legs, square legs, fat legs, skinny legs, metal, or wood. With 160 pounds of cement stacked on this chair, the legs gouge deep into the hardwood floor. But add Furniture Feet and double the load to 320 pounds and the chair glides like it's floating on air. Furniture Feet eliminates that annoying chair shriek and protects legs from scuffs and scratches. And now get a set of 8 small and 8 large size Furniture Feet for just $10. But wait, order now and we'll double the offer free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Still not enough? Call now and we'll send you this 6-piece set of Furniture Fix Pens, the fast and easy way to make all your furniture, floors, and more look like new again. Just draw, wipe, and watch scratches disappear like magic. It's a $10 value, yours free when you call now. That's 16 small and 16 large Furniture Feet and the Furniture Fix Pens, an incredible value for just $10. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-526-9656 or visit us online at buyfurniturefeet.com. That's 1-800-526-9656 or buyfurniturefeet.com. Don't delay, order now.
Newsmax comes to Primetime TV. Join the conversation weeknights starting at 7 p.m. only on Newsmax TV.
We're building primetime around you.
Newsmax Prime with J.D. Hayworth tonight at 8 p.m.
I believe that Jesus would approve gay marriage, but I'm not, that's just my own personal belief. Yes. I think Jesus would encourage any sort of love affair if it was honest and sincere, and was not damaging to anyone else. And I don't see that gay marriage damages anyone else.
And welcome back to The Wrap. That was former peanut farmer and President Jimmy Carter, an evangelical Christian who teaches Sunday school on, quote, what would Jesus do? Not to be confused with what would Brian Boitano do when it comes to same-sex marriage. Despite President Carter's position, several states are rebelling against the Supreme Court decision that legalized gay marriages. In Decatur County, Tennessee, the clerk and 2 employees, which amounts to the whole office, resigned rather than issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Some states are fighting back, taking steps to end state involvement in issuing marriage licenses. In Texas, Governor Greg Abbott, who will be a guest on the Steve Malzberg show on Sunday, good stuff, has signed Monday, thank you, Brick, has signed a law that exempts ministers from performing same-sex marriages if it violates their religious beliefs. Is this just the beginning of efforts to block same-sex marriage, just as the Supreme Court ruling legalizing abortion led to states stepping in to limit abortion, Mr. Unger?
There's nothing I enjoy more than a good civil disobedience fight. It's going to be a blast, but I got news for anybody who tries. You lose at the end of the day. You will not succeed. The Supreme Court has spoken, like it or not. It is what it is. You can waste your time. You can create a fuss, quit your job if that makes you happy, but I'm afraid it's here to stay.
It's a symbolic gesture, you think, at this
Yeah,
point?
at best.
Okay. Joe?
Well, I'm glad that they're resigning rather than staying in their positions. They're certainly entitled to do that. That's the way to express their views on this. You know, I'd argue that same-sex marriage is ruining traditional marriage. Traditional marriage, I think, has been ruined since no-fault divorce was legalized, and it's been ruined since people started to live past age 35. Because once you made that commitment when you knew you were going to croak before you were 40 rather, then you wanted to get married because you wanted to have sex, pass on your DNA and all that before you died of a toothache or some sort of, you know, stubbed your toe and got an infection. So I'm in favor of same-sex marriage. I think it's, if you just have to accept it, it's the law now. If it's, keep it out of the church, as I say, if that's your belief. It's not the same thing. And everyone, if you're going saying biblical marriage, then that's in your church. But legally, I don't think these people have much of a case to make.
Now, I know you're here because Rick's spying tonight.
He certainly is.
But I know there's another reason for it. I'd like to share with the audience.
Was what he requested. Yeah, actually, I just want to mention that I have an album that just came out, and I discussed this, and when the Supreme Court made their decision, I said, well, you know, let's have people hear what I have to say about it. So I made the track that discusses that for my comedy album. It's free. You go to my Twitter account, twitter.com/Joe DeVito Comedy. You can listen to it on Spotify, and hope you, if you're on either side, I believe you will still laugh.
Okay. So, Rick asked, "Where's the vinyl album?" I said,
"Well, no, I'm
brought an 8-track
right
for
here."
you.
So Joe makes a really good point.
Which one?
Seriously, where was Mike Huckabee when no-fault divorce came into being? Where was all the civil disobedience? Where were the bakers who said, "You're divorced, get out of my store"? Right? Well, none of them were there for no-fault divorce, and that, as I understand, and I'm no religious expert to be sure, but that is as much of a violation
There was a lot of
church
prejudice
laws.
against divorced people in this country for a long, long time.
Really?
We've only had one divorced president, I would remind you.
Do you know any judge, by the way, who ever refused
but the real,
to divorce somebody?
The real, yes.
Okay.
The real story that we're moving on towards is going to be whether or not Christians who have sincere religious beliefs are going to be allowed to express them. There's a baker in Oregon right now who's been fined $135,000 because they didn't bake a cake for a gay wedding. Now, the labor commissioner has actually issued a gag order saying they cannot discuss the reason for this, and because it's rooted in their religious beliefs. It is a blatant violation of the First Amendment. Gay marriage is a separate issue, but when you're trying to literally enforce a new cultural code, I think you're stepping on the Constitution in a way that the Supreme Court hasn't even begun to address.
Here's the question, and by the way, I have stood up for those people in Oregon. I agree with you completely. What they're doing there is ridiculous. It's outrageous. However, don't you have to question that baker if that baker did not take a similar position with divorced people, or a wedding where 2 divorced people were getting married? Why are they okay making a cake for that when it violates their religion, but not the gay couple?
I think the Bible treats all those subjects somewhat differently if you actually read it.
I don't know that
You know, I don't think it matters, though. I think that's their call to make. I mean, I think it's also we're talking about, national politics via cakes. What about the gluten-free people? How come we're not discussing them?
Makes a great point. Anyway, one last point to share. Conservative Congressman Steve King is working on a non-binding resolution condemning the Supreme Court ruling. Every major Republican candidate has come out against the Supreme Court ruling, including Mike Huckabee. Here's what he said on CNN.
I would believe that Jesus would have.
Heterosexual marriage is largely in trouble today because people see it as a selfish means of pleasing self rather than a committed relationship in which the focus is upon meeting the needs of the partner. And that sense of selfish...
I don't even know what he said.
Okay.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, it was pretty absurd.
Complete candor. All right. Well, more Daily Wraps. Stick around.
Monaco Rare Coins has discovered a hoard of absolutely stunning, original, mint-condition Morgan silver dollars. Without question, the most collected United States rare coin in existence. The 1918 Pittman Act authorized the conversion of 350 million of these coins back into silver bullion. We're very excited to have discovered this hoard in this type of condition, original mint condition on this particular hoard, especially with a broad range of dates. You have the opportunity now to buy these coins for a fraction of what they've traded for in the past and for much less than many dealers charge today.
Now you can purchase 20 certified brilliant uncirculated Morgan silver dollars from Monaco and receive the 21st coin for only $1.
Take advantage of this introductory offer. These coins are over 100 years old, and once you hold one in your hands, history just comes alive. Give us a call at Monaco and reserve your historic set today.
Own a piece of history. Call Monaco now.
Call 1-800-998-9694.
You may not be a prepper now, but you will be. Whether the next disaster is man-made or wrought by Mother Nature, you need a plan. WiseFoodStorage.com's emergency gourmet meals are made in the USA, delicious, easy to prepare, just add water, and packaged and proportioned perfectly, eliminating waste and creating a shelf life of up to 25 years. Why face your next emergency on an empty stomach? Request your free sample today at WiseFoodStorage.com.
Are you tired of paying a high cable TV bill? Would you like to watch TV free for life? Now you can. Cut the cable and get Scoop TV. Scoop TV receives an uncompressed digital signal of all the top broadcast networks, including NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, PBS, and more. You'll get all the top-rated broadcast news, weather, sports, reality, drama, and kids shows, all absolutely free. Even high-definition broadcast channels. That's right, even HD. No contract, no monthly fees, no subscriptions, and best of all, no cable bill. With cable TV, you can spend hundreds for channels you don't even watch. Scoop TV takes advantage of an FCC requirement that guarantees your right to free TV, just like the good old days. That's right, you can get free broadcast TV for life, guaranteed, or your money back.
With Scoop TV, my whole family gets to watch great television, and I get to save over $1,000 a year.
I used to spend $100 a month on cable, and now I spend nothing, and I still get to see all my favorite shows.
The secret is Scoop TV's powerful signal capturing technology that delivers cable quality broadcast directly to your television for free. Scoop TV installs in a snap. Just plug it in and it's ready to watch. It's specially designed to capture an uncompressed digital signal 24/7. And you get it all for free with Scoop TV. Unlike cable boxes that compress your signal, Scoop TV receives an over-the-air digital signal that guarantees crystal clear reception all day and all night. Over the next 10 years, you could spend over $10,000 on cable alone. Or you can call or click now and get your very own Scoop TV for just $19.99. But as part of this special offer, you can get a second Scoop TV, just pay a separate fee. One for the family room, one for the bedroom. Scoop TV, just $19.99. So get the scoop with Scoop TV. Order now.
Call 1-800-719-1862 to get your special offer Scoop TV. Call now or go to GetScoopTV.com. So call 1-800-719-1862. That's 1-800-719-1862. This offer is not available in any store. Call now to get your Scoop TV.
And I don't really like to talk about it that much because he's the reason I'm on this panel. My first job, but at the same time, you need the proof, and then I'll be able to give my judgment here or there.
And I think now that Quaaludes to women to have sex,
and now
know
that
real
facts, then more people can come up.
As a former Quaalude user, I'm sorry, the 80s.
They sound like fun.
They sound like they were Well, they weren't fun for everybody, clearly. I don't like snap judgments because I've had snap judgments made on me. So I'm very, very careful. And, you know, save your texts, save your nasty comments. I don't care. Only because, and I say this because this is my opinion. And in America, still, I know it's a shock, but you actually were innocent until proven guilty. He has not been proven.
And neither is OJ. So, welcome back to Daily Wrap. Newly released documents show comedian Bill Cosby admitted 10 years ago to drugging and assaulting women. The documents come via transcript of a civil lawsuit filed back in 2005 by Andrea Constand, one of the women accusing Cosby of sexual assault. Here's how the 77-year-old answered questions from Constand's attorney about the 7 prescriptions Cosby obtained in the 70s for Quaaludes. Question, you gave them to other people? Answer, yes. Question, when you got the Quaaludes, was it in your mind that you're going to use these Quaaludes for young women that you wanted to have sex with? Answer, yes. I think that's the most times I've said Quaaludes in 30 seconds. When asked if he ever gave any of those young women Quaaludes without their knowledge, Cosby's lawyer told him not to answer. Are these documents proof that Bill Cosby raped Andrea Constand and possibly other people? Are you now convinced? Were you convinced before, Rick Unger?
Well, first of all, to make your life easier, back in the day we just called them lewds.
Oh, really?
So feel free.
Okay.
At least that's what I've heard.
Interesting.
Whoopi told me. Look, I am going to pick up on what Whoopi said. Look, I tend to believe that Bill Cosby has guilt in these allegations over these, 40 women who have stepped forward. I don't believe they're all making it up. But I was a little bit troubled with this report because, all kidding aside, Quaaludes were not the sort of drug that people used like roofies. They didn't knock a girl or a guy out.
Even mixed with alcohol.
Even mixed with alcohol, which I've seen on many occasions. It wasn't the sort of thing where it was going to cause you to pass out and you'd wake up the next morning and go, what happened last night? It just isn't that sort of drug. So I do think that it's a bit unfair. Now, as to the 3 half tabs of Benadryl he talks about, that would knock me out. So, you can reach your own judgment on that.
Joe, don't you wish you had 1.21 gigawatts in a DeLorean right now where you could go back in time to 1983 and hang out with Rick and Whoopi in Santa Monica? Because that would be one hell of a party.
At the Grotto we get together at Hef's place.
The bowling alley.
The bowling alley?
That's
if you're on enough lewds, it doesn't matter, I guess.
Oh, wow, I'm learning so much tonight.
I think, well, first I'm just trying to think of what kind of drug I would have to take to have sex with Whoopi Goldberg. And,
it's harsh.
I can't think of anything. Because I personally...
Rufalin, clearly.
Here's the thing. What's the old saying?
I'm Ted Danson on you.
The first 25 rape allegations, shame on me. Isn't that how the old saying
That's
goes?
the bumper sticker.
You reach a certain point where I'm just... now we know why he performs sitting down. The man's exhausted from decades of sexually assaulting women, allegedly. But of course Whoopi Goldberg says this because she was the one, you remember, it was, well, it's not rape, so she's gonna stick with it to the end. Although, could they have found a creepier picture of Bill Cosby to have looking over their heads in that clip there, as if to say,
there are no
fix you a
accidents.
cocktail, ladies?
There are no accidents. John Fund, your opinion?
Bill Cosby is living proof that some people live too long for their own good. If he had passed from this earth a few years ago, these allegations wouldn't have come forward because this lawsuits would not have been filed.
There's no money aspect
exactly. To it. And, it is a shame for someone who was a hero to so many people to end his life in this muck, and, of course, obviously of his own making.
I was going to say, it's not as much of a shame when he's as
but it is a shame. It is a shame to all the people he inspired, all of the people he made laugh, all of the people for whom he was a role model. This was the fellow who in the 1960s broke the color bar in 2 areas, leading first African American in a dramatic series, I Spy, and then, of course, The Cosby Show in the 70s and the 80s. It just goes to show that both in Hollywood and in Washington and various other high-powered places, Power is the ultimate aphrodisiac, and sometimes a very dangerous one.
Well, following the release of
Power
these
plus
documents,
drugs.
the television network Bounce announced today that it has pulled reruns of the show Cosby. Shocked that was still on. Word is also coming out that other projects that were in the works involving Cosby have been dropped as well. But despite all this, Cosby still has some supporters in Hollywood. His former Cosby Show TV daughter, Lisa Bonet, released a statement late last night standing by him. We heard what his former TV step-granddaughter, Raven Simone, and fellow comedian Whoopi Goldberg had to say about these new revelations on The View. Plenty of other people still standing by him, which is still remarkable. I guess it showed that he had some powerful friendships, and they just don't want to believe it.
Yeah. Can we deport Bill Cosby?
That's
Get
a very
Trump on
good
the case.
point. Is
Send him
Bill
over the board.
Cosby innocent or
Send him
guilty?
back.
Go to
The Mexican government will
newsmaxtv.com/comments.
send him back here.
Share your opinions. Back with more after the break.
Hi, Matt McCoy here. What's your car insurance company actually doing for you besides just promising a lower price? If you're 50 or over, shouldn't those years of driving experience be recognized and rewarded?
With our generation, we know what service used to be. And service was provided by people who knew what they were talking about.
You see, the AARP Auto Insurance Program from the Hartford has benefits and services designed specifically for drivers 50 and over. For instance, lifetime renewability. See, that's the Hartford's promise not to drop you even if you're in an accident.
We have been careful people all of our lives, and it's nice to know that we don't have to look for another insurance anytime in the future.
And listen to this. The Hartford's Recover Care benefit helps cover the cost of having someone do your grocery shopping, house cleaning, lawn care, even walk your dog if you're injured in an accident. Who wouldn't appreciate that?
Get these exclusive benefits with the AARP Auto Insurance Program from the Hartford. Call 1-800-236-0103 right now for a free no-obligation quote. If you're not already an AARP member, the Hartford can help you join in minutes.
What's most impressive about the Hartford? It's the caring people who make a real difference for customers 50 and over.
They take care of you. The Hartford takes care of you.
Great service, great benefits, and great savings. Drivers who switch to the Hartford save $404 on average. Many save even more.
It is a big company, but with a heart. The Hartford.
Superior service, lifetime renewability, Recover Care, and $404 average savings. That's why I'm a customer.
Call the Hartford today at 1-800-236-0103 to get a free quote. That's 1-800-236-0103 or go to gethartfordauto.com. Get this free calculator just for requesting a quote.
Attention homeowners. Quicken Loans has some very important information regarding the U.S. government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. We've told you about HARP in the past, and we're happy to report that nearly 3 million homeowners have already taken advantage of this fantastic money-saving program. But there are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. Quicken Loans is here to help you save your money. Why Quicken Loans? The home loan experts at Quicken Loans fully understand the HARP guidelines. We'll work with you to understand your specific circumstances and strive to find the financial solution that's best for you. Then we'll guide you through each step of the mortgage refinance process to make sure that it's both simple and easy. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And this year, for the first time, they've also ranked us highest in the nation in mortgage servicing. If you're not familiar with HARP, it's a U.S. government program designed specifically for homeowners who have little or no equity. A great feature of the HARP program is that most HARP refinance loans do not require an appraisal, and there are fewer income verification requirements. That makes it simpler, easier, and even faster. And even if you've been denied for a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that you now may be eligible. Give us a call and we'll give you a Quicken Loans mortgage review. And we'll do all we can to help you save money on your mortgage. It's simple and easy. So find out if you're eligible to take advantage of today's incredibly low interest rates and start saving money every month on your mortgage. Call Quicken Loans today or go to quickenloans.com for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze.
And welcome back to Daily Wrap. Before we jump back in, let's jump on board, shall we? Newsmax wants to send one lucky couple on a 7-day Silver Sea cruise to the Caribbean this winter. Caribbean or Caribbean, Rick?
Take your pick.
Okay, I'll go with Caribbean. Obviously, a luxury cruise on the Silver Wind is the trip of a lifetime. To win, however, you have to enter our sweepstakes. Visit newsmax.com/sweepstakes to enter. That's newsmax.com/sweepstakes. All right. Usually, this is the part of the show we go around the table, share our favorite stories of the day, but instead, we're going to talk about the anti-ISIS Syrian training program, which is a whole bunch of fun. The $500 million program was supposed to train about 5,400 Syrians, 5,400 Syrians in the U.S. annually to fight ISIS, 3,000 of which were supposed to be ready by the end of this year. So, how we doing? Well, Defense Secretary Ash Carter said today that currently we are only training 60.
We are working to screen and vet almost 7,000 volunteers to ensure that they are committed to fighting ISIL, pass a counterintelligence screening, and meet standards prescribed by U.S. law regarding the law of armed conflict and necessitated by operations. As of July 3rd, we are currently training about 60 fighters. This number is much smaller than we'd hoped for at this point, partly because of the vetting standards I just described.
Yep, so I just did the math, and we are 5,340 short, and according to Rick Unger, they're not even trained, they're just candidates to be trained.
Yeah, that's my understanding. You know, I might be wrong hearing what the Secretary just said, but this is not going the way it was supposed to, folks. You know, what's a shame is if you listen to the President's speech yesterday, he made a very good point, and nobody cares. The point he made was this is going to be a long-term fight, and it is about winning the hearts and minds ideologically of those who would go in the ISIS direction. But you know what? When you have an immediate problem and you're failing so badly in overcoming the current batch who want to kill us, you're not going to really get through when you start talking about the more esoteric point, although it's important, of making sure the next generation doesn't follow them. We have got to turn this around. It is not good.
Joe, you surprised by this all?
Well, I don't know what kind of bright side there's to look at that. You know, maybe these 60 guys that submitted for this, or maybe they're like ninjas. maybe they're like really good at it, so they're going for quality.
I think they just passed the physical.
It's frightening. I think what they need to do is if they can't get people to fill those jobs, we should do what we do in the United States, where we have jobs people don't want to do. What they need is some hardworking Mexican immigrants to flesh out this anti-ISIS army.
It'd be like the World Cup, the Mexicans taking on
absolutely
Syrians and ISIS. Yeah, that could work. I mean, but it just that kind of shortfall. If they said we've trained 2,000, okay, you're 1,000 back, but we're making progress. How do we only get to 60, John?
This is good enough for government work in most other areas. Makes a point. But seriously, what I worry about is, you know, once they've finished training, they're not under any legal obligation to actually go and fight. I mean, they will have been trained in the U.S., a very comfortable place, more comfortable than Palmyra, Syria. I wonder how many are actually going to go.
Well, they're going to go to Texas when the government attacks Texas to take it over.
So
we're going to send them.
This once again just shows the complete and utter disaster of our foreign policy. You know, Obama, remember, had the red line. I'm not saying this is about Obama, but ever since he retreated from the red line, and that was the credibility of the United States government at stake there, we have done nothing that I can tell right or competent in Syria.
Do you think he's just playing four corners at this point and just trying to run out the clock until he gets to the next president? Like nothing big happened, and then that's somebody else's problem.
There's something else that nobody wants to talk about. There may be a reason we've only got 60 people. As you heard the Secretary say, they have to vet them all. Let's remember how many people who are now part of ISIS came out of the moderate Syrian forces.
Right.
So, you know, it may not be so easy to find people that
a couple more than
are going to be on your side. You know?
You think you'd accidentally find 60 people?
Yeah, exactly. So, speaking of which, there's also news today that the U.S. Army plans to cut about 40,000 soldiers, that's 40,000, over the next 2 years, with an additional 17,000 civilian employees getting laid off. Under this new plan, by 2017, the Army will only have 450,000 soldiers. So, is this a good idea, John Fund?
Our military is very well equipped. Obviously, we've moved a lot to high-tech weaponry. I think we're going to have to make a decision in the next 5 to 10 years as our debt piles up and spending continues to go out of control and entitlements, we're going to have to make a decision. Do we maintain the network of bases and a quasi-empire around the world to protect our interests, or do we scale it back and develop strike forces that can develop and fight specific threats to our sovereignty? I think ultimately we're going to have a smaller military because we're going to have a smaller footprint worldwide.
Quick answer on this one. So what John's saying is, would you pull troops out of 48th parallel Korea, Germany, where do we really need troops there at this point?
I don't think we do, but I just want to quickly add that if this is troubling you, keep in mind that you might want to talk to your Republican congressman, because if sequester kicks in again, you're going to lose a whole bunch more.
Okay, and on that note, we leave it there. Joe, your favorite part of the show is coming up next. I know this. This is called Yay or Nay. That's next. This is the Daily Wrap.
Hi, I'm Ron Paul. I spent 22 years in Congress, and today I'm back in Washington to issue an important warning. I believe a major financial crisis greater than the one from 2008 is fast approaching because our government has made a series of disastrous monetary decisions over the past few years. If I'm right, the way you live, work, travel, retire, and invest will change. Stocks and bonds will crash. The savings of millions could be wiped out. You can't rely on Washington to help you. Get the facts and take the necessary steps to protect yourself and your family. The best place to start is the free website below. You'll find a short presentation I've put together with one of the leading financial research firms in America. It details both the problem and the important steps to take. I strongly encourage you to check out the website below. I guarantee it will be worth your time.
Hey, we get it. You want to go to Vegas, and Vegas.com is your inside connection to the lowest rates on Vegas hotels. And now with VIP Drop Watch, they guarantee it. Simply book any Vegas hotel, and Vegas.com will let you know if the rates drop before your stay. Then just rebook and save. Go to Vegas.com, click on the microphone in the upper right corner, and enter code WINNER to get an extra 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Get the lowest rate guaranteed at Vegas.com. Vegas from the inside.
I was only on there for about a month, and look what I found.
I was looking for something a little bit more with substance.
I wanted somebody that was as free and unencumbered as I was. It's all quality time. We never have any wasted time.
As you get older, different things become more important to you.
I know better right now what I want, and I know it more quickly.
We can just enjoy our time.
OurTime.com, the largest dating site for singles over 50. Start today for free.
Did you know criminals use scanners like this to steal credit card information right out of thin air? It's called skimming, and it can happen anywhere to anyone, including you. But now these wireless pickpockets can be stopped with CardLock. It's like a portable bank vault for your credit cards. Simply slide your credit or debit card into CardLock, then put it back in your wallet. Now it's virtually impossible for anyone to steal your information. Look, thieves can scan your bank information from your purse or pocket when you walk by. It takes just a second to get your name, address, social security number, and more. Then they can steal your identity, ruin your credit, even empty your bank account. But slip your credit cards into CardLock, and it protects you from credit card fraud and identity theft. Frequency blocking polymers are woven right into the threads of the CardLock. They're light as a feather and soft as silk, yet strong and secure, like an armored car for your card, and they fit easily in your purse. Watch, without CardLock, my credit card number is easily read. There it is. But when I slide it in CardLock, the number is blocked. It really works.
I had my identity stolen, and it took years to fix my credit. If I had just used CardBlock, it would have saved me the nightmare.
My credit card was scanned, and they charged me over $1,000 that day. It's just so easy to prevent with CardLock, you'd be a fool not to.
Don't be a willing victim when it's so easy to stop with CardLock.
Call and get 2 CardLocks for just $10, each made in the USA with our stylish leather look. But wait, order now and we'll send you 2 more absolutely free. And there's more. All of today's orders get shipped to you for free. That's right, free shipping and handling. Get CardLock for just $10. Call now.
Call 1-800-695-0683 to get your CardLock security sleeves. They're not sold in stores, so call now or go to getcardlock.com. So call 1-800-695-0683. That's 1-800-695-0683. Don't miss out. Call now.
Newsmax TV is everywhere, and everyone's talking about it. Get the latest breaking news at NewsmaxTV.com, or just download our free app on your iPhone or Android and start watching. Go now to Newsmax TV for real news, better talk.
And welcome back to Daily Wrap. It's time for Yay or Nay, sans music. First up, take a look at this.
Say, man.
Yeah, that's not out of Syria or Iraq or anything. That's a video making fun of ISIS-style execution videos. Was it done overseas? Oh no. The men in the video are employees of the British bank HSBC, who have since been fired. Are these, this is your first question, Joe, are these the stupidest people in the history of mankind, yay or nay?
I'm going to say they're up there, so I'm going to say yay, although at first I thought this was what was replacing some of the excessive ATM fees.
He makes a good point, because sometimes it's like $2.50 now to take money in.
Yeah, so now they're letting you know they're not messing around. But yeah, definitely stupid.
He makes a great point. Rick?
I want to talk to them to ask them what they thought was funny about that.
Yeah.
I mean, there had to be something in their head. I can't imagine.
Quaaludes probably.
Quaaludes.
Or they have a really mean boss that you don't know about.
Right.
It's hard enough to get fired in a lot of places today because of fear of litigation. The fact that these people got fired, they have to be way up there.
Yeah. This is not something you put on a LinkedIn page. That's for sure. Anyway, we've spoken a number of times about the amount of taxpayer dollars that goes towards President Obama's family vacations, and this year is no exception. Boston Herald now reporting that the Obamas will be vacationing in Martha's Vineyard as usual again this August. So where will the family of four be staying? In this $12 million house featuring 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, a basketball and tennis court, an infinity pool, hot tub, and incredible views. Is this bad optics for the president who continually attacks the richest 1%, or a well-deserved vacation, Joe?
I'm going to say it's bad optics, although I did hear the ice machine is broken.
Yeah, not to be confused with ISIS. You're talking ice.
Not the ISIL machine, the ice machine.
Right, and that's not the immigration people ice. We're talking actual ice that creates cubes.
Form, yes.
Okay, very good. Rick?
You know, people who have sat in these chairs before us have had the identical conversation with every single president of the modern era. Whenever they go on vacation, we complain. It changes nothing. Leave them alone. Let them have a vacation. What's the big deal?
I'm just saying maybe a smaller house for 4.
I never thought I would say this. I miss Dick Morris, who took a poll of people asking them where the president should vacation, and they roughed it and camping in Yellowstone one year. And I think that's exactly what we need pollsters for.
Yes.
To decide if the president is popular, you give him a nice place to vacation. If he's not popular, he goes to Yellowstone.
Well, he just went over 50%, so I guess maybe he earned Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, he earned Martha's Vineyard this week.
During an interview at the Rock Church in San Diego, California this weekend, Seattle Seahawks star quarterback Russell Wilson revealed that he had a girlfriend, Sierra. They're both waiting until marriage to consummate their relationship. Wilson says the decision to remain celibate came to him from God. This is the second chance to do things right for the pair. Wilson was previously married to his high school girlfriend. Sierra has a child with her ex-fiancé, excuse me. So, Joe, is Russell Wilson the next Tim Tebow? Yay or nay?
I'm going to give this a yay because I can relate to this because I know there's a lot of women I've approached for having sex and they have said, oh God, no. Dear God, no. So there is always a religious element.
Wow, fascinating. Rick?
I'm going to use up my second I don't care of the week.
Okay, you only have one more left.
Yeah.
John?
It'll be a good message for some people who probably need one.
Absolutely. And he's being mocked for it on TMZ and everything else like that. And it's a whole ball wrong. The guy's been to 2 Super Bowls. He wants to live his life that way.
That's all I care about. As long as he's throwing well, I don't care what
Right,
he
and
does.
don't throw at the 2-yard line when you have Marshawn Lynch in your backfield. But that was on Pete Carroll. Anyway, as the 2016 election heats up, so are those annoying political posts on social media. But before you start defriending your friends and family, you should know about the new app, Who Deleted Me? The app lets users find out about who has defriended them from Facebook by comparing newer and older versions of their friends list, but only once they start using the app. Will you use this, Rick Unger? Yay or nay?
Certainly not. Couldn't care less who defriends me. That doesn't count as an I don't care.
Okay, I understand. Yes.
I'm going to say nay, because this certainly doesn't sound like a way that you would expose sensitive personal information.
Good point, John.
If you care that much, you care too much.
Yeah.
And that is the philosophy we'll end on tonight. Panel, thank you so much. Great job as always. Joe, great meeting you as well. We'll love to have you back sometime. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I'm Joe Concha, Newsmax Prime with J.D. Hayworth. That's next.